market doesn't want you to win until you become strategic every day. Millions of individuals settle down in front of their screens, diving headfirst into the same chaotic battle. Armed with charts, indicators, and maybe even a so-called edge, they gear up. But the moment the market opens, everything changes. The meticulously crafted plan disappears into thin air. Their confidence shatters in an instant. Their hands tremble like leaves in a storm. Just like that, the market devours them whole. Here's a startling reality. A staggering 95% of day traders end up losing money. Not just 50%, not even 70%, a whopping 95%. Those odds are worse than any casino. At least in Vegas, they toss in complimentary drinks while they take your cash. Many believe that trading is all about spotting patterns, finding a magic indicator, or waiting for the perfect entry point. But let me share a different perspective. The most successful traders in the world aren't obsessed with setups. They're obsessed with understanding themselves. The hard truth is, you're not simply trading the market. You're navigating your own beliefs, ego, and past traumas. The market isn't your enemy. It's a reflection of who you are. It doesn't punish you. It exposes you. And that's precisely why so many get defeated. Here's what most don't realize. The legendary traders weren't born with some special gift. They didn't waltz in with mystical systems or foresight. They simply grew weary of deceiving themselves. They confronted their fears, their arrogance, and their greed, using the market as a forge to burn away the irrelevant parts. In The New Market Wizards, Jack Schwager interviewed elite traders who amassed fortunes not just by being right, but by cultivating resilience. Some came from teaching backgrounds, others were math geeks or former poker pros. None were naturals. Yet they all shared one critical trait: transformation. This isn't your typical tutorial. It's a roadmap to personal evolution. Identity alchemy, if you will. You'll meet the trader who struck it rich by embracing his fears of loss, the man who turned his knack for losing into a fierce advantage, and the intuitive mastermind who learned to trust his gut instinct after analyzing 10,000 charts. Moreover, you'll discover that your biggest advantage might just stem from the pain you've been trying to escape. So, if you've ever found yourself rage quitting the market, chasing candles that singed your account, or questioning, why do I keep putting myself through this? This narrative is meant for you, because here's the ultimate truth. The market won't grant you victory. Not until you evolve into someone it simply cannot break. Let's dive in. Insight 1. The market as a reflective surface. The market isn't a benevolent genie waiting to grant you wishes for wealth. It's not there to back up your theories or shower you with accolades for your brilliance. The market is devoid of opinions, memories, and mercy. Instead, it holds a crystal clear mirror, one that reflects everything within you: your hopes, fears, desperation, and even your arrogance. Most traders overlook this truth, mistaking their analysis of price action for an objective evaluation when, in fact, it's the other way around. The price movements are dissecting them. Jack Schwager's interviews consistently spotlight a single, potent idea. The traders who soar in this arena don't just decipher charts. They embark on a journey of self-discovery. They unravel their patterns, impulses, and the chaos that stirs inside them. Consider this. One trader once declared, "I realized I was pursuing trades like I once chased validation as a child." Another revealed, "I was battling the market as I attempted to impress my father." Pause for a moment and reflect on that. How often do your trades echo emotional scripts from your past? How frequently do you cling to a losing position because surrendering it would signify an admission of failure? How often do you increase your risk, not because it's a wise move, but to feel a surge of power, the market is indifferent to your feelings, yet it will shine a spotlight on them. If you're attentive, it can be the most insightful therapist you've ever encountered. It never deceives. If you blow up an account, and that's not a reflection of the market's workings, that's your unresolved urges staring directly at you. One of Schwager's most impactful moments emerged when a trader shared his journey into journaling. Not just the mechanics of his trades, but the emotional tapestry woven through each decision. Over time, he began to recognize patterns, not in external markets, but within himself. Fear consistently emerged after 3 consecutive losses. Greed would swell at the sight of a friend's profits. He honed the ability to forecast his emotional signals far more accurately than any technical analysis could ever offer. True breakthroughs arose not from prediction, but from keen observation. These seasoned traders didn't banish emotion. They honored it, scrutinized it, and diffused its power. When they accomplished this, trading transformed from a frenzied scramble into a composed performance. Now, challenge yourself. What if every trade you make is not merely a test of strategy, but a journey into self-awareness? What if your most significant advantage isn't an innovative system, but finally illuminating what the market has been striving to convey all along? And if that concept strikes a chord with you, just wait until you discover the trader who embraced fear so profoundly that it became the bedrock of his empire. Insight 2: why the top traders embrace fear. Let's face it, the world's best traders are, in fact, cowards. They don't leap into the unknown or take reckless risks. They're calculated and cautious. Surprisingly, when stakes rise, these traders tend to scale back. It's a curious notion, isn't it? Yet, in Schwager's interviews, time and again, a revealing pattern emerged. The champions of trading don't triumph through boldness. They thrive on their apprehensions. Take Tony Saliba, for instance, who transformed a $50,000 account into a staggering $8 million in options trading. When Schwager inquired about his secret, Saliba didn't mention complex strategies or analytics. Instead, he spoke of an unwavering commitment to risk management that bordered on the obsessive. If anything felt off during a trade, he'd step away from the screen. He'd even shrink his position size after a win, keenly aware of the perils of overconfidence. And if a trade felt too good, that was his signal to cut and run. Then we have Tom Baldwin, a titan among bond traders. Everyone expected him to be brash, executing thousands of contracts in the blink of an eye. But beneath that energetic facade lay a strategist with a defensive mindset. He didn't chase profits, he anticipated pitfalls. Each contract size he placed was meticulously calculated, and any hint of loss was swiftly addressed. Here lies the truth. Amateurs equate courage with holding on, while seasoned professionals recognize that true bravery is in knowing when to let go. Letting go of losing trades, pride, and the obsession with being right. One trader shared a gem with Schwager. Whenever I start feeling too confident, I reduce my size. I want to maintain that edge of feeling I might lose because it keeps me alert. This isn't cowardice, it's trading mastery. You see, most individuals step into the market chasing the next big win, lured by excitement. The pros, they're always on the lookout for potential threats, and that vigilance is what sustains them. Imagine balancing on a tightrope above a vast chasm. While an average trader is captivated by the stunning view, a master is focused on the wind's unpredictable currents. This shift in perspective changes everything. A typical trader celebrates a victory and escalates their bets. In contrast, a master grows wary post-win and prioritizes capital preservation. Loss isn't the real enemy, it's the trap of hubris. Here's a joke from the trading trenches. What's the quickest route to turn a large fortune into a small one in trading? Start with a substantial fortune and ignore risk management. So, if you've ever found yourself thinking, I need to take more risks to grow, pause for a moment. What if it's not about summoning more courage? What if it's about cultivating a deeper sense of fear? Perhaps that inner voice whispering, slow down, is the very insight that sets you on a path to legendary status. Remember, in the realm of trading, it's not bravery that builds wealth, it's the art of survival. And even that isn't enough if you're merely following someone else's strategy. Insight 3, no holy grail. Just your personal edge. Every struggling trader has a common thread, the relentless pursuit of the perfect system. They hop from one strategy to another like a kid in a candy store. One week it's RSI, the next it's Fibonacci, and who knows what they'll try come next month. Maybe some Wyckoff magic, yet with each disappointment they mutter the same line. It worked for someone else. So what's wrong with me? Here's the mind-bending truth. Nothing is wrong with you. The real issue lies in the question itself. As Jack Schwager learned from interviewing numerous trading legends, there's no universal strategy that works for everyone. These successful traders didn't operate from a single playbook. Some were incredibly technical, while others followed their gut instincts. Some thrived on scalping tick charts. Others maintained positions for months. What truly united them was one vital element, self-awareness. Take Mark Ritchie, a trend-following trader who transformed $30,000 into a fortune by capitalizing on significant market moves over time. He told Schwager, the key is to find an approach that fits your personality. That's the crux of it. Not what's theoretically profitable, not what backtests like a dream, but what aligns with you, your psychology, your capacity for discomfort, your emotional rhythm. Now, consider Linda Raschke, who amassed her wealth making quick intraday trades. For her, the idea of long-term positions felt like a psychological nightmare. It wasn't that holding trades for weeks was inherently wrong. It was just wrong for her. Do you see the pattern? The Holy Grail isn't a magical system. It's all about alignment. Alignment between who you are and how you choose to trade. But achieving that requires a level of honesty many shy away from. It's far simpler to mimic someone else than to dig deep into your own wiring. It's more convenient to chase a signal than confront the reality of your risk tolerance being thin as paper. Much easier to fault a strategy than to ask, is this really how I should be trading? Picture this, trying to cram someone else's trading system into your mindset is like trying to run a marathon in shoes, 2 sizes too small. It's painful, uncomfortable, and destined for failure. So what's the way forward? Stop chasing trends that seem to be working at the moment. Instead, turn your focus inward. Journal your emotional responses. Monitor your comfort zones. Pay attention to when you feel in the zone and when anxiety starts to creep in. From there, reverse engineer a strategy that resonates with you. The traders featured in The New Market Wizards didn't achieve success because their systems were superior. They triumphed because those systems were crafted to resonate with their internal landscapes. One trader summed it up beautifully. I spent years searching for the Holy Grail outside myself. Turns out it was right inside me the whole time. I just needed to sift through a lot of nonsense to uncover it. If you felt like you're failing for not grasping the intricacies of trading, here's your reassurance. You don't need to emulate someone else's approach. You need to create a system that speaks to your soul. But remember, this journey takes time. Often it begins not with triumph, but with the discomfort that drives genuine growth. Insight 4, they crashed and then struck gold. Every trader bears a scar. Some simply wear it with a touch more flair. Before their names became synonymous with success, the market had a habit of tearing them down. It humbled them, it humiliated them. And in those fleeting moments when their accounts ran dry and their confidence lay in ruins, they faced a pivotal choice: give in to despair or rise anew. Jack Schwager didn't just seek out the triumphs. He delved into the stories of those who survived the storm. What he uncovered, a fascinating thread woven through the lives of nearly every market wizard. They all experienced catastrophic failures, not merely small losses, not just a rough week. We're talking complete devastation. One trader revealed that he lost a staggering $600,000 in an afternoon, simply because he wouldn't let go of a sinking ship. Another got swept away by greed, doubled his stakes, and watched months of hard-earned gains evaporate in the blink of an eye. Yet, astonishingly, none pointed fingers at the market. Instead, they scrutinized their own mindset, their ego, their misguided sense of control. That's when something remarkable unfolded. Their true journey commenced. It wasn't the fleeting profits that carved their legacy. It was the searing pain. Pain shattered the delusion they weren't smarter, faster, or invincible. From the smoldering ruins of their past, they rose again, but with a newfound humility. Bruce Kovner captured this wisdom perfectly. The worst thing that can happen to a new trader is to win big on their first trade. Early victories often breed a false sense of security, but early defeat, that's character building. Schwager's interviews overflow with tales of traders who finally took risk management to heart only after the market dealt them a heavy blow. One blew up 3 times before implementing rigid stop-loss guidelines. Another kept a snapshot of his biggest losing day by his screen, as a poignant reminder of the price of arrogance. In trading, pain is more than feedback. It's an essential curriculum. Each blown account is a hidden lesson waiting to be unwrapped. And if you weather it, not just financially, but mentally, you don't bounce back as who you once were. You emerge transformed. This echoes the concept Joseph Campbell referred to as the dark night of the soul. In mythology, the hero must plunge into the underworld before returning with treasures of wisdom. In trading, that underworld is embodied in your most crushing loss, the panic, the shame. But let's be clear, what distinguishes the amateurs from the true masters is endurance. One trader recounted to Schwager, "I lost everything at 25. By 30, I was a millionaire. The difference? I stopped battling the market and started learning from it." Another shared, "My worst day became my greatest teacher. Now I keep that memory close, not to torment myself, but to remind me just how far I've come." So if you've crashed before, celebrate it. That signifies a beginning. The market has initiated you. Now, the real question looms. Will you shun the lesson or embrace the challenge? Because on the other side of that loss lies a reinvigorated self, someone who no longer dreads the market because they've learned to embrace their own vulnerabilities. And once you face that pain head on, you're equipped to grasp the ultimate exhilarating skill, how to lose like a champion. Insight 5. Mastering the art of losing. When you first dive into trading, no one prepares you for this crucial truth. The most successful traders are those who have honed their ability to embrace loss. It might sound counterintuitive, but this theme echoes throughout the new market wizards. Losing isn't just an unfortunate side effect of trading. It's a skill that sets apart the resilient from the reckless. Because let's face it, everyone faces losses. The key difference? The elite traders know how to manage them. One trader interviewed by Schwager aptly referred to losses as tuition for the school of the market, remarking, "The market charges you to learn, but most people drop out after the first semester." This encapsulates a vital mindset. While novices view losses as definitive judgments, seasoned professionals see them as informational stepping stones. Take Marty Schwartz, for instance, a standout among the traders studied by Schwager. He transformed $40,000 into a staggering $20 million throughout his career. His mantra, when the market tilts against you, don't make excuses. Don't gamble on hope or wait for a turnaround. Leave the position, recalibrate, and move forward. He had no emotional ties to always being right. His priority was smart trading. And smart trading often means cutting losses swiftly. Contrast this with the typical trader who clings desperately to a faltering position, convinced it will bounce back. Every slight tick against them feels like a personal affront, and in no time, a minor misstep morphs into a disastrous plunge. Yet Schwager repeatedly highlights a fundamental truth. While losing is part and parcel of trading, lingering in that loss is a choice. The legends of trading didn't evade losses. They absorbed them, anticipated them, and even welcomed them. A swift loss is a sign of discipline, an indication that you respected your risk parameters. Even some of Schwager's most accomplished traders experienced win rates below 40%, but they still walked away with millions, and the reason is simple. When they won significantly, and when they lost, they did so minimally. This straightforward math of elite trading can be distilled into one enlightening phrase: maximize your gains, minimize your losses, and survive long enough to do it all over again. But why is this so challenging? Because our ego despises loss. We're programmed from a young age to view failure as shameful. Social media only highlights the triumphs of those having green days, creating a disconnect from reality. The market doesn't share your sentiment. It demands your humility. Until you offer it, you risk losing everything else. I love this trading quip. What's the difference between a new trader and an old trader? The new trader believes every loss is catastrophic. The old trader sees it as just another Tuesday. So here's a pivotal shift in perspective. Start considering a well-managed loss as a victory. View a quick exit as a show of strength. And treat every trade you walk away from as an affirmation of your skills. In this realm, the trader who masters the art of losing is the one who ultimately triumphs. And once you learn to face loss without fear, you'll discover an enlightening shift. Your intuition will truly come alive. Insight 6. The art of intuition is earned. We all love the allure of the trading visionary, the enigmatic savant who simply knows what to do. No charts, no signals, just pure instinct. But here's the revelation from the New Market Wizards. Intuition isn't some mystical gift. It's a product of understanding drawn from experience. Time and again, Schwager's interviews unveil the truth behind this myth. Traders who trust their gut didn't stumble upon that ability overnight. They earned it through years of immersion in the markets, emotional training, and relentless pattern recognition. Their instincts are not wild guesses. They're a nuanced summary of thousands of trades. Take Bruce Kovner, a trading legend who transformed a mere $3,000 into a staggering $300 million. He described it well. There comes a moment when you start to sense the rhythm. You can't always articulate it, but you know something isn't right. This isn't folklore. It's about subconscious synthesis. His mind absorbed so much market behavior that it could alert him to danger before his conscious thoughts could catch up. And this isn't just poetic flair. It has biological roots. Neuroscience calls it implicit learning, the same process that allows athletes to sense shifts in momentum or musicians to foresee chord changes. With enough repetition, the human brain can hone a finely tuned radar that feels more than it thinks. But here's the twist. Genuine intuition only blossoms after years of feedback. And that feedback only comes when you're truly attentive. Journaling, reflecting, savoring your victories, and digesting your defeats, not numbing them, creates that emotional imprint, becoming your competitive edge. One trader Schwager interviewed narrated the market's movements aloud. I see price stutter. I feel buyer hesitation. Volume doesn't confirm the breakout. And he wasn't just an observer. He was training his nervous system to interpret signals. The downside? Many newcomers confuse intuition for impulse. They feel a surge, an intuition, a vibe, and then they act. But that's not intuition. That's adrenaline at play. True intuition is calm, not rushed. It doesn't shout. It whispers gently, often after a lengthy, challenging apprenticeship. You might trade for months without grasping why things work, until that moment when clarity strikes. One trader quipped, "I spent 5 years earning the right to trust my gut. Before that, my gut was just hungry." So if you don't feel you can rely on your gut yet, consider it a sign of honesty. Want to build that intuition? Start by mastering the mundane. Track every move, review each trade, and vocalize your thoughts. What feels instinctive later is built from the intentional actions you take now. Once your instincts begin to sharpen, you'll encounter a new challenge. The lure to increase your trades. But remember, confidence can be just as perilous as fear. Insight 7. Size kills confidence. The intoxicating thrill of trading. When you feel utterly invincible, you've just nailed 3 trades back to back. The setups were pristine. Your timing, spot on. The market danced to your tune exactly as you envisioned. Confidence, sky high, logic, a rush of endorphins. But then, a dangerous thought slips in. This next one? I'm going all in. That's the moment when many traders stumble. In The New Market Wizards, Schwager emphasizes this powerful theme. Overconfidence takes down more traders than fear ever could. And what fuels that overconfidence more than anything else? Size. One legendary trader laid it out simply. The fastest way to derail a winning streak is to wager like you deserve it. Another sage observation came from a seasoned pro. When I'm riding high, I start to feel uneasy. That's my cue to reduce my stakes. Why? Because size doesn't just supercharge profits. It supercharges emotions. You might believe you're in control, disciplined even, but bump up your position size 5 times and suddenly, every market movement feels like a punch to the gut. Your breath quickens. The time frame collapses. Your plan, it disintegrates. You're no longer trading with strategy. You're battling your instincts to survive. Here's the kicker. Large positions seem justifiable when you're winning. You think, I've earned this. But in reality, you've only earned the right to maintain consistency, not the right to rewrite your own rules. Schwager recounts stories of traders who shone for months until their confidence warped their decision-making process. One oversized bet, one unexpected reversal, one slip in humility, and in a blink, they wiped out $2 million in profits in just one day. It wasn't the market that did it, it was them, misled by the illusion of control. True professionals approach position sizing like a bomb disposal expert. Meticulous, prudent, never treated lightly. They get that the goal isn't to amass wealth in a flash. It's to stay in the game long enough to build lasting wealth, brick by careful brick. One trader even adhered to a personal rule. I size down after a victory, never after a loss. Why this approach? It safeguards against ego inflation. It compels you to stick to your process. The moments you feel the most confident are often the ones where your vulnerability hides. Here's a saying from the trading floor. Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. So here's your paradigm shift. Instead of asking, what can I gain? Ask yourself, how much pressure can I withstand before I sabotage my own success? The biggest threat isn't the market itself. It's the version of you that emerges when the stakes become overwhelmingly high. But if you can conquer that version of yourself, if you can trade small while maintaining a bold mindset, you're ready to delve into the deeper layers of this game, the ones that transcend charts and tap into your very essence. In Insight 8, the market as a spiritual dojo. Many assume that trading is all about the cash. It's not. At its core, it's a journey of awakening. Behind every position size, every stop loss, and every bullish candle lies a profound question. Who are you evolving into? The market doesn't merely challenge your strategy, it probes your core, your character, your patience, your discipline, and your authenticity. In The New Market Wizards, while Schwager doesn't articulate it outright, there's a truth woven between the lines. Every trader's path is a spiritual rite of passage. This journey is not adorned with incense and flowing robes, but punctuated with red days, restless nights, and a gradual shedding of the ego. One trader put it best. Eventually, I stopped striving to outsmart the market. I began focusing on conquering the darker parts of myself. That's the essence of this endeavor. A face-off with your shadow, your compulsive need to win, your dread of being wrong, your cravings for control. The market lays bare your innermost struggles. Each trade acts as a reflective surface. Every loss serves as a mentor, and every rise tests your resilience. Much like martial arts, trading is about mastering through repetition. Enlightenment doesn't come after one moment of introspection, nor does mastery happen with a single stellar streak. The real education unfolds in the gritty perseverance of showing up, confronting your shortcomings, and choosing not to look away. You cultivate detachment, embrace humility, and nurture presence. You learn that you cannot manipulate the market, just as you can't bend life to your will. So you start to release, not in a passive sense, but powerfully. You act without clinging, you execute without chasing, and you accept without crumbling. One trader remarked, "The instant I relinquished my need for the market's approval, my real profits began to flow." This isn't merely a monetary breakthrough. It embodies a spiritual transformation. And this evolution isn't solitary. Every wizard Schwager interviewed underwent this internal metamorphosis. They didn't just refine their strategies, they reinvented their identities. Transitioning from reactivity to responsiveness, from rigidity to flow, and from fear to tranquility. The market remained unchanged, but they did. Here's a thought-provoking Zen koan for traders. Before enlightenment, buy low, sell high. After enlightenment, buy low, sell high. The actions mirrored each other, yet the individual behind them had transformed entirely. So, ponder this. What if every losing trade is actually an invitation? What if your true adversary isn't the market, but your own past? What if this intricate game isn't designed to make you wealthy, but to make you authentic? In the dojo of the market, there are no ranks, no trophies. Only one true prize, the version of yourself that emerges after relinquishing everything you thought you needed, discovering serenity within the discipline itself. And once you hit that milestone, once you stop fixating on the outcomes, you'll grasp the sacred truth that underpins it all. Process over profit, ritual over results, identity over income. Insight 9, process, outcome. Imagine observing a top-tier trader in action. What do you notice? They don't display excitement or anxiety. In fact, they might seem a bit dull, but that's the essence of greatness in trading. It's not about chasing the highs of profit. It's all about honoring the craft. As highlighted in The New Market Wizards, a powerful truth emerges. The moment a trader becomes infatuated with results, they risk betraying the very consistency that fuels their success. And let's be honest, consistency thrives within a process. One trader summed it up perfectly. "I stopped caring if I was right. I only cared if I followed my rules." This isn't indifference. It's a testament to discipline. If your worth is tied to proving you're right, the fickle market will break you. However, if your value stems from the precision with which you approach your trades, then no win or loss can rattle your center. This is where trading transforms into a ritual. Picture this. You wake up at the same hour, scour the same setups, and execute risk-managed trades. Not out of robotic consistency, but out of a profound respect for the rhythm of the market. You come to realize that advantage isn't some mystical revelation. It's born from steadfast repetition. Consider what one of Schwager's interviewees shared about a day where he flawlessly adhered to his system, hitting every exit, every stop, every confirmation, and still took a loss. Yet he left the day with a smile, because that day was perfect in terms of process. The market may not have rewarded him, but his dedication did. His confidence remained unshaken. His identity stayed rooted. That's the real magic. When you commit to the process, your self-worth isn't a roller coaster driven by your profits and losses. Many traders, they experience euphoria with wins and dive into despair with losses. It's a whirlwind of emotions. But when you immerse yourself in execution, Your mindset becomes unshakable. You no longer seek validation from the market. You cultivate it from within. This explains how elite traders can endure losses for multiple days and still return with clarity. Their process serves as their anchor. Their habits are the protective measure. Their consistency becomes the source of comfort. Now, reflect on this. Would you choose a system that yields massive wins but remains impossible to replicate, or a system that delivers steady returns because you've mastered predictability? The market thrives on chaos. Your mission? To be the consistent element within that storm. One trader captured this sentiment beautifully in his journal. Bad day for the account. Great day for discipline. I'll take it. So if you find yourself on an emotional roller coaster, consider this. For the upcoming week, measure your success not by profits, but by your discipline. Did you stick to your rules? Did you execute flawlessly? Did you steer clear of emotional trades? That's the true measure of progress, not in terms of gains, but in your personal growth. When you fully embrace your process, something remarkable occurs. You start to exhibit flexibility, you loosen your grip, you embrace the flow, and that's where you uncover the paradox at the core of mastery. Conviction must dance gracefully with surrender. Conviction and surrender must tango in the trading arena. Insight. 10. Conviction and surrender in harmony. Many traders believe that winning hinges on their unwavering conviction, strong faith in their setup, their thesis, their view of the market, and they're right to an extent. Yet, conviction without the grace of flexibility, that's not strength. It's a fast track to disaster. In The New Market Wizards, Schwager reveals an eye-opening trait among top traders. They hold their ideas lightly. They act boldly, but if the market proves them wrong, they pivot instantly. There's no pride, no doubling down, no arguing with the data, just swift adjustments. One trader captured this sentiment beautifully. I'm always confident in my trade until I'm not, and when I'm not, I'm gone. This is the paradox of trading. Fierce commitment coupled with a readiness to detach. This isn't indecision. It's a dance of dynamic balance. You believe deeply, but not blindly. You trust your system, but you don't let your ego take the wheel. You remain receptive to the market's cues, even when they challenge your conviction. You consider martial arts. The moment you stiffen up, you lose your rhythm. But if you're all softness, you're at risk of getting thrown. True mastery is about being both firm and fluid, structured yet supple. Schwager recounts stories of traders who amassed fortunes by being wrong quickly. They didn't shy away from mistakes. They exited before their losses spiraled. One trader revealed, my biggest edge, I changed my mind faster than anyone I know. And for most, that's a daunting truth. Why? Because we're often taught that changing your mind is a sign of weakness and that backing down implies a lack of confidence. But in trading, stubbornness is the quickest route to ruin. Markets are in constant flux. Setups falter, news breaks, momentum dissipates. And if you cling to your perfect thesis, you're trading yesterday's news. So, what does this look like in action? It means setting clear exit criteria and sticking to them, even when it stings. It means reassessing your bias daily, not to be fickle, but to remain genuine. It means avoiding attachment to your trades. After all, the market doesn't get emotionally invested in you. One trader Schwager interviewed emphasized, whenever I get too attached to a position, I make myself size down or step away. Attachment is the first step toward blindness. Here's a nugget of trading wisdom. Strong opinions, loosely held. That is the essence. Hold your conviction like a sword and surrender like a monk. In this game, flexibility isn't a weakness. It's your secret weapon. When you master this balance, you'll find yourself no longer in need of mentors or gurus. You learn to trust the one expert who truly matters, your ever-evolving self. And that leads directly to the next revelation. Why the greatest traders don't seek followers. Instead, they aspire for you to become your own master. Shift your focus from merely making money to safeguarding what you've got. That's not just trading wisdom, it's wisdom for life itself. So, if you've read this far, you're already aware. What you need isn't more tips or yet another guru. Trust the journey of becoming the unshakable version of yourself, the one that the market can't phase, can't fracture, and certainly can't overlook. The time for action has arrived. Your next trade is not just a position, it's a decision. You've just absorbed the 10 insights that have shaped some of history's most brilliant traders. But let's be real, insights alone won't redefine your world. It's all about integration. So let's pause for a moment and reflect. You discovered that the market acts as your mirror, revealing not just price movements, but also your innermost patterns. You came to see that the most successful traders aren't devoid of fear. Instead, they are acutely aware of it. They thrive because they respect risk more than they chase after rewards. You learned that there's no magical solution, only strategies that resonate with your authentic self. Pain is not merely a burden. It's a transformative journey. The best traders have all traversed it, scarred yet revitalized. You recognize that losing is a skill to be cultivated, intuition is a treasure earned through experience, and trading size can quietly undermine your progress. You witnessed how trading evolves into a sort of spiritual training ground, a space where you confront your ego and redefine your identity. Ultimately, you came to understand that genuine transformation doesn't stem from emulating others, but from embodying your own version of a market wizard. Now, I invite you to take a bold step. Share the insight that resonated with you the most. This isn't just for me, it's for you. Writing it down activates your memory, giving it substance. You transform a mere thought into a binding commitment. Was it when you realized that fear could actually be your secret weapon? Or perhaps it was the realization that your greatest loss could turn out to be your wisest mentor? If you're eager to dive even deeper, join the tribe. Subscribe, share this wisdom with a fellow trader who seems stuck in a loop, and spark a conversation. Remember, we elevate one another when we grow together. Keep this in mind. You don't ascend to the height of your goals. You descend to the level of your identity. The market always recognizes your true self. So let your next trade be a stride toward embracing that identity. I look forward to connecting with you in the next chapter.